It's been a pretty big week for Disney Plus, I'd say. They announced on day one that they had 10 million subscribers. Now, they say that they're going to get 60 to 90 million by 2024. I say they're underselling it. Point is, people are excited, Disney's excited, subscribers are excited, and frankly, they should be. But let me tell you why I'm actually more excited now about Apple TV Plus than I am about Disney Plus. And I'm also going to offer some industry predictions because, well, frankly, now, before I get started, look, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy what we do here, give this video a like, all that stuff. But let's go ahead and dive into this subject today. Now, let me go ahead and clarify a little bit. I am not necessarily saying that Apple TV Plus is better than Disney Plus. I'm also not saying that I'm not excited about Disney Plus. I actually am, but here's the thing. I'm actually more excited about Disney Plus for my kids. I'm more excited about Apple TV Plus for me. So let me go and retread a little bit of the ground that we've been over for the last few weeks. So Apple TV Plus came out on November 1st, and there was a little bit of fanfare, but it was kind of a quiet release because, as we've noted before, they only had 9 titles at release. So they come out on November 1st with 9 titles to watch, and everybody's like, oh, well, whoop-de-friggin-do. But here's the thing about the way Apple TV Plus did it. They had those 9 programs with a lot of content within each of those to watch. So with their big shows, The Morning Show, See, For All Mankind, Dickinson, they had multiple episodes. In the case of Dickinson, it was an entire season ready to go on day one, so you were able to watch the entire thing. Or in the case of the other ones, 3 episodes per show that you could mini binge through. And in my case, that actually got me interested in the stories for each one. And now I'm excited for every Friday when those shows come out again. I want to see the next episode of See. I want to see the next episode of The Morning Show and For All Mankind. I'm excited about them. I think about them more. I talk about them more with other people. Now with Disney Plus having come out on day one for them, they had 12 programs available, which is more than 9, sure, but of those programs, they had a single episode available for each, and most of them were really, really short programs. Even The Mandalorian, their marquee day one program, was only about 30 minutes long. And so you compare that to these hour-long, expensive, marquee programs on Apple TV Plus, it's just not quite the same thing. And ultimately, with the exception of The Mandalorian, the programs on Apple TV Plus are frankly just more tailored to me. And I suspect there might be some of you who agree with me on this, that you're more excited about the programming on Apple TV Plus than you are about the new programming on Disney Plus. So if we're comparing the two of them, maybe we give Apple a little tip of the cap here, right? Because what they've done is in releasing 3 episodes on day one, they got people more excited. They gave you a little bit more of the story to latch onto and get you interested. Because so often with a pilot program, it's not necessarily going to sell you on the entire show. How often have we heard that, it takes a few episodes for it to really get going, right? And so Apple put all those episodes out right away so that you could feel like, wow, this has really got going. So where does that leave each of these services, especially as we go into the future? Well, this is the part where I make my sweet predictions. Disney Plus is going to be just fine. Obviously, they had 10 million subscribers on day one. That's why we had all those hiccups on day one with, streaming issues and all of that stuff because the entire country was trying to watch a few programs, right? But anyway, Disney Plus is going to be just fine. But what it's going to do as we go into the future, a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, Disney Plus will take the place of Netflix, or at least live alongside it, or in my opinion, probably a little above it, as the kind of everything for everyone platform. This is the one that everybody's gonna have to have. It's gonna have the family programming where it's, stuff that you can watch on car trips or during dinner or whatever the case may be. It's good for the kids, it's good for the parents, it's good for everybody, right? Apple TV Plus is going to go a little bit different route. Apple TV Plus will take the place of HBO. This is prestige programming. It's adult-oriented programming generally. I mean, I'm not talking about Snoopy in space, but it's adult-oriented programming, and that is what HBO has been known for years. So why am I not saying that Apple TV Plus will live alongside HBO the same way that I think Disney will live alongside Netflix? Well, it's because of what's going to happen with HBO. We've talked a little bit about HBO in the past and what's kind of coming down the pike with them. HBO Max will be coming soon. And one of the things that has been reported is that HBO Max will absorb AT&T TV Now, both owned by AT&T, of course. So what I think they're going to do is maybe by the end of 2020 or sometime in 2021, they will offer HBO Max along the lines of what we know Hulu as right now. You've got Hulu, and then you've got Hulu with live TV. So ultimately, I think HBO will struggle to kind of drive headlines and drive excitement because it won't really be HBO the way that we know it. They're going to water down their brand. It has been for decades now this prestige, adult-oriented brand that made really cool content that you had to pay a pretty penny to get, right? And now they're going to get all this live TV, they're going to bring in all this new programming they're going to try to get into the everything for everyone space, and they're not going to be able to compete with the likes of Disney Plus and Netflix. So HBO, I suspect over the coming years, I'm not talking about months from now, over the coming years, they are going to kind of dissipate a little bit. They're gonna bring their brand down, and it's gonna be a lot less valuable than it is now because of absorbing AT&T TV Now. And they're gonna struggle to drive the same kind of headlines that we're gonna get out of Disney Plus and Apple TV Plus. Maybe some others, but I think those two especially will start to pull ahead of the pack in the coming years. So Disney Plus, obviously, it's Disney. They've got all the vault content, and they are going to create more original, interesting, hopefully, content, along the lines of the MCU and Star Wars and that sort of thing. Apple TV Plus will start to make those older HBO-style programs, the things that we're used to, like The Sopranos, like The Wire, things like that. That's going to now live on Apple TV Plus, that style of content. So all of the highfalutin reviewers and critics are going to be looking at the Apple TV Plus programs and saying, hey, everybody, look at all this great content over there. Anyway, give it 5 years. That's what the landscape's going to look like. Staking my claim right now. But you know what? Ultimately, no matter how much Craig is always right, frankly, I'm probably an idiot. So hit the comments below. Let me know what you think about this and whether you think my predictions will come true. Hit the comments, give this video a like, subscribe if this sort of content is interesting and helpful to you. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you next time.